All right, gentlemen, welcome back to TBN 2, TBNC, Two Boys, One Nissan, featuring Anthony Anacone in replacement of our regular guest, Mr. Jose Aguilar. Mr. Anthony Anacone, how are you tonight?
Pretty good. I mean, had a good date with my lovely boy over here. So,
Do you want to tell them a little bit about our evening?
yeah. So we went to an Ethiopian restaurant called in what was it called? Pronounce it Ethiopia. And so
It's it starts with an I, right?
Injura,
Injura,
Injura. Um,
Injura, Injura.
so we went there,
Mm-hmm.
froze getting there,
Mm-hmm.
and then decided to drown our freezing sorrows in some good donuts.
Okay, yeah. So we're here today trying donuts. You may have seen our unreleased footage from last time. If you haven't yet, it'll be released out on our vlog on the TBN channel. However, we're going to start with our donut review. So, Colin, do you want to show the audience what type of donut you got?
So in baguette A, we have the croissant s'mores donut.
Okay.
Looks very
So, do you want to show
s'moresy.
them? Just make sure they got. So, just make sure they get a good view, maybe at the top.
It's a sandwich between 2 graham crackers here.
Okay. Very, very,
Very s'moresy.
very. So the interesting thing is, so this was the Donut Pub.
This is the donut pub.
Donut
correct.
Pub found in New York City. Their theme is croissant donuts. I really don't know what makes a croissant donut different from a regular donut. I think
The croissantness.
the flakiness of the bread, and we really haven't tried out this sort of style before. It's going to be interesting to the TBN team to try a new flavor, but let's just see. So mine is a salted caramel chocolate donut, croissant donut, also croissant donut. So very interesting. The whole idea of chocolate with croissant donut, we've never really dealt with something like this before, and we're gonna dive in right now. So,
Yeah.
Anthony, if you've never seen the format of the show, we grade donuts on two scales.
Okay.
You have your aesthetic scale, which is the overall presentation. Is it a very good-looking donut? Does it have a pizzazz to it? Is it something special? And then you have the taste,
Okay.
and we sort of average those scores.
What's the scale out of 10?
Let's just say 10. I forget really, but one being it looks like garbage and it tastes like garbage, to 10 being it looks phenomenal and it tastes phenomenal.
Okay.
So if you'd like to take a bite of yours first,
All right.
and we'll kind of both take bites. So you'll take one bite, I'll take another bite, and we'll kind of see how it compares.
Mm.
Okay. So what is your first thought?
It tastes like got a little bit of graham cracker in it.
Mm-hmm.
Tastes like it was biting into a good marshmallow.
Okay.
So I think it might be filled with marshmallow,
Really?
or I can't tell, but it was very marshmallowy.
Okay. So all right, don't tell me your grade. Now, based on style alone, what would you give this in the rating scale?
It's not very symmetrical, but I don't think it's supposed to be. So I give it like a solid 6, 7.
6, 7. I was about to say I would give it probably. I would say around an. I'd say around a 5. Its presentation is good. The graham crackers, but the pizzazz, it almost looks like it was haphazardly placed on there.
I think that's part of the appeal, though.
It's just one of those things where personally,
It's like when you're making s'mores in a campfire; they don't never come out perfectly. They're always very lopsided and very
okay,
very bad. So I think that's what they were going.
I can respect the artistic sort of license that they're having on this donut, but at the end of the day, I'm going to go with the 5. So we had a.
We'll go with those 6.5.
6.5 for the aesthetic of this donut. Now I'm going to try a bite on the other half. Try to get a good graham cracker donut bite, and we're just going to see the style here.
No, Charlie. You gotta let it waft.
Very interesting. It's
very interesting.
surprisingly for a croissant donut, I thought it'd be a lot more flaky.
It's not very flaky.
It's actually very moist in a cakey good way, kind of chewy, marshmallowy. I thought it was going to turn me off with croissant. You bite into it, flake off, be dry.
I think the chocolate really solidifies the moistness of it inside.
I'd say that's a very pleasant tasting donut, and the graham cracker really.
The graham cracker is such a good.
Really gives it that crunch.
Yeah.
The crunch I enjoy. Which I think this is. I'd say that this is. Out of all the donuts that I've tasted, this is a good solid 7.5 taste.
I'd have to agree. I think it's a really good donut.
7.5 solid donut. I know we've had some 8s and 9s in the past, but as far as donuts go, solid all around. It looks decent, tastes great. So that's what we have for the s'mores donut. So next, we'll finish it off camera, and I think we'll definitely enjoy it off camera. But next up, we have the salted caramel chocolate donut. It's another peak for aesthetic. This donut in particular was probably one of the uglier
Very
salted
ugly.
caramel.
Like the caramel on it kind of reminds me of dog doo-doo, just drizzled on there.
Some of the other donuts in the store had very risen and very round caramel, and it looked presentable. And I picked this because the presentation looked clean, it looked crisp, it's very sterile. It just overall was a very appealing look. But this donut in particular, I'm not very pleased. I'd say this is probably a 3 presentation-wise.
Yeah.
It's a bit lopsided. I mean, it's not a circle, and it's
the caramel's not very good. It's not smooth at all on top,
and the chocolate's a bit uneven. But 3, I think is safe.
I would agree. I would concur.
Okay, so now for the taste. Well, I'm really excited for the salted caramel chocolate. I think the caramel is going to add some good consistency and texture, but we'll see.
Is it good?
The caramel only adds a hint. I wish it would appear more in the taste. But again, I'm amazed by the softness of the donut.
Yeah, it sounded very, like, not crunchy.
It has
very,
a bit of a crunchy outside.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. It's the croissant is almost a croissant on the outside. Very doughy, cakey on the inside, which is amazing. Brilliant. But I'd like to see your opinion now.
All right. Oh, dig into this bad boy. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and just so you guys can see the inside, it's it's a croissant. It's layered. It's very typical.
It does have like a 2-layer crunch, like a slight crunch that you get through, and makes it so good. And then you got the caramel, like kind of. I'm not a big caramel guy, so I think it's like good that it doesn't overpower the donut. And then I think the chocolate is super delicious.
Okay. All right. So now, grading wise, what would you give it?
I would give it a solid. For taste, I give it a 7.
Actually, that's what I was going to say. A 7.
Yeah.
It's quality.
Satisfying.
I if I had a dozen of these, I would not be angry. I would be completely pleased. And it is a donut that really it's a rare one that you find a donut that manages to retain as much of its cakey moisture. Especially, these aren't fresh donuts. I don't believe.
I think they've been out there probably for as long as you expect.
They still have that.
And we walked back in the freezing cold.
It was very cold, but it retained that just ability to be, delicious. It didn't lose its value over time. Which timeless donut, that's a solid donut. 6 taste, 3 aesthetic wise, but sometimes
it doesn't need to look pretty if it's.
It doesn't need to look pretty. No,
it's tasting good.
It's not a donut requirement. I mean, good presentation skill is the sign of an expert, but you don't have to be an expert necessarily to make a fine donut.
I would agree. I would definitely. I'd eat these again.
Okay. All right. You've seen it here first, folks. Like, favorite, and subscribe.
Sad reacts only.
Sad reacts only. TBN featuring our guest this week, Anthony Iannacone. I will see you next time. Make sure click this link down in the description to take a look at our sponsors as well as see some of our other videos that we have coming, if any are uploaded. Adios.
Adios.